Howdy, this is Ranger. I'm here at Blue Bayou and Dixie Landin in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Not a real good place to do the intro, so we'll hit the ground running. The main draw here is the water park. There is also a dry ride section. It's slightly smaller than the water park, but the water park certainly is the main draw. We'll start the tour with these toboggan type slides. You get in these sleds and then you go down this pretty steep drop. These are very rare. There's only a few left here in the United States, and they're pretty fun. This is the Voodoo. It is a 4-person raft slide. It's pretty tall. It's about 100 feet, and there's this giant drop going down into the bowl. This is the Hurricane Bay wave pool. It's kind of small considering it's the only wave pool in the park, and this is a pretty big water park. Right next to it is the Conja. This is a multi-person raft slide. You sit in line in your tube. There's 2 to 5 people allowed per tube, and then you go winding on the way down. These helixes at the bottom are pretty good. These slides are the Mambo. I like the colors here, certainly indicative of the region now we're in here. And these are the first looping slides I have ever been on. These are exceptionally rare. I don't think there's any other ones within 300 miles of where I live or so. So the drop is a drop box entry, and the vertical part of it I think is longer than the vertical drop of any other of the drop slides I've been on. I think there's probably a good, I don't know, 35 or so on the vertical descent. You get some really serious speeds before you go up on the loop, but these might be the fastest drop slides I've ever been on. So I can't really even tell that I was going up, because when you go down this section here, you see the green slide in particular, it pushes you down into the slide, so you can't really even tell you're going up until you start to change directions here at the top. They are pretty rough. I mean, the seams will tear your back up a little bit. So there's only so many times in a row that I can ride this, but it's a very enjoyable slide. So this is the Racer. It is an off-the-shelf mat racer slide. Interestingly enough, they have some type of electronic monitoring system, but they have exposed wires. I don't think that's allowable. I don't think that's up to code. No surprise they don't work either. Right next to the Racer is the Lafitte Plunge. I have no idea if I'm saying that right or not, but it is a vertical slide, a vertical body slide. You get some pretty serious speed going down here. Short slide. I do want to point this out too. On the Conja, they have this giant billboard sign. Very nice, and this park is right next to I-10. This is the freeway taking you from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. This is the festively colored Azuka. This is the extended version of the Tornado slide, off-the-shelf mile. These are always fun though. After this turnaround at the top, you have this big drop, sending you into the funnel, sending you shooting up the sides, going back and forth before splashing into the exit pool. This is awesome. Twosome. These are 2-person raft slides. This is the high water body slide complex. These are pretty good. I like the 2 on the left side of the tower more than the one on the right side. They're pretty smooth too. Some of these older ones will get your back roughed up pretty good. But these are smooth and they're fairly fast for these type of ride. This is the Mad Moccasin. In my mind, this is the star attraction here at the park. It is a body slide, just 1 person going down each slide. And you can see this is pretty much just a tower twisting through itself many, many, many times. This is maybe 90 to 100 feet tall. This is the closest thing I've ever experienced to what I imagine what it would be like to ride a bobsled. You get off to somewhat slow start. It's similar to other body slides, but when you start getting to the bottom, it starts getting very, very fast, very intense. And it never slows down. It actually gets faster and faster and faster. And at the bottom, one time through the splash pool, I actually hit the far wall. I made it all the way down and I hit the far wall with all the momentum that I've had. So this is a really special, unique ride that you won't find anywhere else. Arr, it's the pirate-themed water playground. We've got several slides and this cannon shooting out tons and tons of water over everybody. It's pretty nice. So just inside the front gate, you can see the locker prices. It's only $10. That's really not bad at all these days. And I found these interesting. They have these air-conditioned beach houses too. There's 3 of them. They are $150 to rent for the day. And inside you get some picnic tables. They have drink cups in there too. So not bad. Maybe consider that if you're bringing a big group out here. So these railroad tracks separate the Blue Bayou Waterpark from the Dixie Landin, the dry ride section of the park. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here's the Banteria Pirate. It's a swinging ship ride. So check this out. Turning around here, here's the Dixie Landin Sugar Mill LTD truck. But look at that. Then there's this maintenance building. This is hilarious. There's like maintenance stuff in here and there's nothing. I could literally just walk up and go in that maintenance building. Crazy. This is Gilbo's Galaxy. This is a Galaxy roller coaster. There's a bunch of these all over the country. But not bad. It's pretty smooth. There's a decently big drop. I like the helixes on it. But I like the colors at this park. They certainly fit in with the Louisiana theme of the park. And Louisiana just has the richest culture of any state probably. What other state has food that they can claim as their own and festivals that they claim of their own? Really not any that can lay as much claim to that as Louisiana, I don't think. I'm actually an expert in Louisiana culture. That's right, I learned all about it at Six Flags Great America. So I found this interesting. On the Galaxy roller coaster, the operator literally has to push the train from the back of the station to the front of the station to then load the passengers. A few selections from the younger set portion of the park. Here's a scrambler ride, the Jambalaya. The antique cars are over there. We've got a frog hopper and we've got a kiddie carousel right there. The log ride at the park is called Splinter. I like the building that this ride is set in. There are basically just 2 drops to this ride, the smaller drop, a turnaround, and then the larger drop. You do get wet on this ride more so than most of the other log flumes. However, you are allowed to wear your swimsuits on this, and as far as I could tell, any of the rides here at Dixie Landin. So if you just want to wear your Waterpark to Blue Bayou and then just waltz on over here and continue to wear your Waterpark and ride the dry rides, that seems to work just fine. The Cajun Collision is the bumper car ride. This was a really unique bumper car ride. It takes place in this building where it looks like they have one-way bumper cars. So usually when they have this divider in the middle, usually they make you go one way, but they let you go anyway here. They don't really care where you go, and they move pretty good. So these are some of the most violent bumper cars I've ever ridden, which is really good. Dixie Landin is land of the giants. World's largest rides. Also, there's a couple of these cement pads here. There's one on the other side of the bumper cars over there. There's signs that say that they've got something coming for 2019. So we'll see what that is, or isn't possibly. This is the Ragin Cajun. It's a boomerang ride. Several of these are all over the country. You gotta love that stencil you saw on the train there. I'm sure someone just pulled out those giant stencils and painted that baby up. Usually these are pretty rough. This is usually the part where I make a joke about how rough and uncomfortable these are, but this one really not too bad. You would think this one would be one of the worst ones, but really not bad, at least relatively speaking. But if you haven't been on one of these, they take you back out of the station on this lift. I mistimed this, having to wait here longer than I expected. Eventually though, it will drop, send you through the course. Goes upside down 3 times. Goes back up that second lift you see on the right, and then you go through the course backwards. Let's go ahead and watch. You back up, This is the main ride that you see from I-10 as you're driving past, other than the water park. Interestingly enough, this is actually the tallest and fastest operating roller coaster in Louisiana. It's 85 feet tall and 47 miles per hour, according to the roller coaster database. And send these riders back down 87 feet. I always like to ride these in the back of the train, so then you sit in the back seat, then you're in the back of the train when you're going forwards, and then you're in the front of the train going backwards. You really don't want that roughness going backwards. This is the third roller coaster at the park, the smallest of the three. It's not bad though, especially in the back seat. Definitely recommend the back seat as it pulls you down in that second drop. That one right there is a little bit taller than you would think going into the drop. You hit the brakes kind of hard and fast on this one. I wish they'd let you go around a couple of times since it's so short. Really not a bad ride for how not tall it is though. A couple more rides here. The Zydeco Express is one of these. And this is the yo-yo. It just goes up and swings these swings around. This ride is the Flying Tigers. The purple and gold is a nod to LSU, the local college sports team. Louisiana State University, of course, is in Baton Rouge. This is an Enterprise ride, and they have one of these. Yes, they do. Cedar Point does not have one of these, so there's one thing that they've got here that they do not have at Cedar Point. The tallest ride in the park is the Hotshot. This is an SNS space shot ride. It's fairly short, just shoots you up into the sky, bounces you up and down a few times. Sidewinder is a spinning pendulum ride. It's like a mini Max Air here. It's a lot smaller than Max Air and some of the larger models, so it takes a while for it to get up to speed. And then it spins faster, like the rotations per minute that it's spinning is a lot higher because it's a smaller disc, so you get a lot more spinning sensation. So you're more likely to get sick on this one than you are on some of the larger pendulum rides. Finishing out the tour, I am on an observation deck at the top of the high water slide complex. It's pretty nice that they have this observation deck. Not very many water parks can you get over and see everything that they have here in this manner. But the water park definitely is the main draw here. Not a whole lot to see and do at the dry ride section of the park. Certainly wish they had more to do over there. But this water park is no joke. This is a top 10 water park in the US easily, in my opinion. They've got a lot of great slides, a lot of good variety. One-person slides, two-person slides, body slides. They really have pretty much everything that you would want here. So if you like water parks, this is almost a quintessential water park for me. So don't come out here if you just want the coaster credits. That would be ridiculous. But I'd strongly recommend the water park here. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. This is Ranger signing off from Blue Bayou and Dixie Landin in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.